The year is 64 AD. In the heart of the Roman Empire, a catastrophe is about to unfold. It all started with a tiny spark in the bustling shops near the Circus Maximus, Rome's grand chariot racing stadium. But this was no ordinary fire. The city was a tinderbox of narrow, winding streets and densely packed wooden buildings. Fed by a summer wind, those small sparks erupted into a monstrous inferno. For 6 long days and 7 nights, the fire raged, an unstoppable beast devouring everything in its path. Imagine the scene. The night sky glowing in angry, terrifying red. The air thick with smoke and the screams of people trapped in the labyrinthine streets. Wooden roofs crashed down, sending showers of embers into the sky, spreading the destruction even further. Temples, public baths, markets, and thousands of homes were consumed by the flames. The eternal city, the center of the known world, was burning to the ground. When the smoke finally cleared, the scale of the devastation was unimaginable. 10 of Rome's 14 districts were either completely destroyed or severely damaged. Thousands of people had perished, and hundreds of thousands were left homeless, wandering through the charred ruins of what was once their city. The heart of the empire was now a landscape of ash and rubble. And amidst this apocalyptic scene, a single burning question emerged. Who was responsible? Almost immediately, whispers and accusations turned towards one man, the emperor himself, Nero. The stories that circulated were chilling. Some claimed that Nero stood on the balcony of his palace, watching his city burn, strumming his lyre, and singing a mournful song about the fall of ancient Troy. A poet watching his own epic tragedy unfold. It's a powerful and disturbing image that has been seared into our collective memory of him. But is it true? Other historical accounts offer a different perspective. They suggest Nero wasn't even in Rome when the fire broke out. He was at his villa in Antium, about 35 miles away. When news of the disaster reached him, he supposedly rushed back to the city and personally led the relief efforts. He opened his private gardens and public buildings to shelter the homeless and organized food supplies to prevent a famine. So, which Nero is the real one? The heartless tyrant or the responsible leader? The truth, lost to the smoke of history, remains fiercely debated. What isn't debated, however, is what happened next. Nero saw the ruined city not just as a tragedy, but as a blank canvas. An opportunity. He initiated a massive urban renewal project, one that would transform Rome forever. The old narrow streets were replaced with wide, grand avenues. New building codes were put in place, requiring the use of stone and brick to prevent another such fire. And at the heart of this new Rome, Nero began construction on his masterpiece, a testament to his own ego, the Domus Aurea, or the Golden House. This wasn't just a palace. It was a sprawling, decadent complex that covered a huge part of the devastated city. It boasted walls inlaid with gold leaf and precious stones, vast man-made lakes, rotating dining rooms, and sprawling parks and gardens. It was a symbol of unimaginable luxury built directly on top of a city's suffering. Of course, this level of opulence came at a price, a very steep price. To fund his grand vision, Nero raised taxes across the empire and confiscated property from wealthy senators, many of whom were already his political rivals. The people of Rome, who had just lost everything, were now being asked to pay for the emperor's extravagant dream. Resentment began to simmer. The whispers against Nero grew louder. He needed a scapegoat, someone to divert the public's anger away from him. He found one in a small, misunderstood, and unpopular religious sect that was gaining a foothold in the city, the Christians. Nero publicly accused them of starting the Great Fire. He launched a brutal and systematic persecution, the first of its kind in the empire. The punishments were designed for maximum horror and public spectacle. Christians were crucified, torn apart by wild dogs in the arena, or used as human torches to light Nero's garden parties. It was an act of unimaginable cruelty that would forever cement Nero's reputation as one of history's most notorious tyrants. So, we are left with this haunting mystery. Did Nero fiddle while Rome burned? Was he a pyromaniac who torched his own city for the sake of art and architecture? Or was he a shrewd, opportunistic ruler who simply took advantage of a disaster to consolidate his power and rebuild Rome in his own image, scapegoating an innocent minority to save himself? The Great Fire of Rome is more than just a story of destruction. It's a powerful lesson about power, propaganda, and how in times of chaos and fear, the truth can often be the first casualty, burning away faster and more completely than the flames themselves. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this dive into history interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from the past. We'll see you in the next video.